Welcome to Suku on Air. Enjoy!
Hi! Okay, so welcome back. We're back in Suku on Air. And hari ini kita kedatangan a guest from Enrich Behavioral Services. They're doing a lot of therapy and their experience in behavioral challenges. So Jen and Tanya, do you mind sharing a little bit what you guys are doing, your background, where it came from, your passion?
So, hi, my name is Tanya and this is Jennifer. We are both behavior analysts at Enrich Behavioral Services, and what we do at Enrich is we specialize in ABA therapy for kids with autism and related developmental disabilities. Gitu. We offer different types of services at Enrich. Maybe you want to share a little bit.
Yeah, we provide consultation, behavioral consultation, one-on-one ABA therapy,
Language assessment.
So not diagnosis, yeah, just language. We also provide parent training. So if they, like the kids are okay, but they don't know how to handle their kids at home, so we do that too.
Okay.
Parent or nanny training.
Wow,
So
that's
some parents
good.
are like too busy, or like some nannies don't know how to interact with the kids and how to handle the problem behavior, so we do that.
Interesting.
We also do like social skills group for little kids and also teenagers. Gitu. So most of our clients are on the spectrum, autism, but we do have some yang they don't have diagnosis. Cuman simply because when the parents are looking at like the milestone tracker, the children are not meeting like the correct milestones at the correct time. So they sometimes consult to us also. Gitu.
Wow, okay. So interesting, banyak banget services yang I think menarik banget, dan tadi kayak parent nanny training. But before any of that, you mind sharing gitu? Mungkin banyak yang baru yang lagi listening kayak what is ABA therapy?
So ABA therapy stands for Applied Behavioral Analysis Therapy. So what's really cool about ABA therapy, it's based on a science. So there is research behind the strategies that we use during therapy. Gitu. There is two main goals for ABA therapy. The first one is to increase positive behaviors to help the children or even just individuals thrive in their communities. So teaching them social skills, daily activity skills, motor skills, leisure skills, vocational skills, all sorts of that. And then the second goal is to decrease problem behaviors or challenging behaviors that impedes these children or individuals to be good participants of the community. Gitu. So those are the two main goals for ABA therapy.
I guess since you guys are in the field gitu, kayak do you mind sharing gitu kayak what do you guys see often sih sekarang gitu? Lately tuh parents misalnya datang to your center gitu, what are the problems? And I guess the reason why we're asking gitu ya, soalnya we do have parents juga or even friends gitu kan coming with concerns of their child gitu at home. Mungkin if you don't mind sharing gitu, jadi kita sama-sama kayak oh we're not alone
We're
gitu
not
ya.
the same boat gitu kan, and there's help and like what to do when that happens.
That's right. Apa sih kayak yang kalian lagi sering encounter lately gitu?
The first problem that we encounter itu mostly kids yang telat ngomong or speech delay. Tapi one of the reasons is because kurang stimulasi aja di rumah gitu. Maybe like parents-nya sibuk, and then susternya juga don't know how to interact, stimulate gitu.
The second problem is biasa problem behavior, tantrum, nggak bisa duduk, lari-lari, things like that. So
jadi itu two yang most ini ya, yang paling sering you guys encounter gitu. Yang the first one you talking about speech gitu ya, kayak what do you see sih kayak tadi berarti kurangnya stimulasi gitu ya, whether that being with nanny and or with parents gitu. For us yang punya anak di rumah kayaknya ada symptom seperti itu gitu, kayak what can we do gitu, kayak terus ada nggak sih kayak would you recommend any kind of like tracker or anything yang supaya kita bukan cuma ngerasa-rasa sendiri
bukan
ya kan,
comparing to our siblings atau their neighbors gitu.
That's
kan,
right.
Where kita harus base it kemana sih gitu, kayak untuk teman-teman di sini so that they know where to find out.
Kayak anak saya beneran delay atau belum aja nih gitu, kayak where can we check for that gitu?
That's a very good question. I think for parents, I would recommend the CDC milestone tracker. It's a really good tool that is not often used, I feel like. So if you're a parent, I would recommend downloading the application on your phone, and it's really
Android
cool.
atau iOS dulunya ada?
There is ada, and it's really cool because inside that tracker, that app, you can even like watch videos of what kayak
we can do.
Misalnya anak umur berapa bulan,
udah bisa ngapain
harus
gitu,
bisa
ada
ngapain,
videonya
kayak
juga.
gini gitu, ada videonya.
Okay.
It's so easy to use karena ada checklistnya gitu loh. You just like tick.
Okay.
Gitu.
Okay. Terus kalau ada yang not tick, is that considered delayed atau kayak sebenarnya you can wait for another month atau kayak is it easier or like better for us to immediately go for therapy?
I think it depends, right? There are kids yang emang slower than others, tapi it doesn't necessarily mean that there's anything wrong. Emang biasanya kayak gitu aja.
Okay.
Tapi there are kids di mana yang kayak we should check to the doctor. Gitu.
Right.
I think mother's instinct is very important, right?
Yes.
If you're a mom and then kamu concerned, I would say just go to the doctor. Gak ada salahnya, right?
Just to consult.
Just to consult.
That's
Kayak it's not kayak definitif banget gitu. Just untuk nanya-nanya aja, what are some recommendations, what can I do at home to make the progress in this certain area faster, things like that. I think the doctors and also kita, we can give really good suggestions on what you can do at home.
Okay.
Gitu.
Okay. I think soalnya juga kayak especially in our country or like culture kadang-kadang masih lumayan tabu ya gitu. Maksudnya kalau anak kita ada certain diagnosis tuh kayak we as parents gitu, we understand gitu ya, malu gitu kadang-kadang, jadi mungkin ada yang jadi mom guilt atau parent guilt gitu yang jadi kayak saya tuh salah apa ya kok anak saya bisa kayak gini gitu ya. Tapi justru actually it's very okay to just go check.
It's so okay. We actually have a handful of clients that go to therapy with us that don't have a diagnosis. Simply because they're 1 year late. 6 months late. And we're so happy to like share that after 3 months, 4 months, they're out.
Oh wow.
By the time they're out, they're already meeting the milestones.
Wow.
So it's like, it's a good solution, right?
Yeah. And you guys promote for early intervention, right?
Yes, early intervention is so important. If you look at the research, kayak early intervention, prognosisnya lebih bagus. Gitu. So even if amit-amit like there is a diagnosis, if you do early intervention, there's research that show that you can undo that diagnosis.
Wow.
Gitu. So that's why early intervention tuh penting banget. So I encourage parents kalau misalnya there's something nggak nyaman in your heart,
worry gitu.
Just go.
Okay. And kalau datang ke Enrich itu tadi di-mention nggak perlu ada any diagnosis ya. Just come. They can like talk and ngobrol, maybe kayak worry-nya apa. As chill as that.
It's so chill.
Free consultation juga.
We do.
We do
have free consultation.
Kalau misalnya ada worry atau concern gitu, just do the free consultation, ngobrol-ngobrol. We can like direct them, kayak ini kayaknya perlu ke psikolog, atau kayak ini nggak apa-apa, atau ini ABA langsung nggak apa-apa, or like ABA plus something gitu.
Right. That's very important. Temen ngobrol as a
Jadi
mom.
boleh kayak maksudnya just to check kayak ini sebenarnya udah oke kok Bu, semuanya checklistnya gitu. It's okay for them to come to you guys.
Misalnya my child suka ngikutin suara dinosaur, is that normal? Kayak the mom thinks it's not normal because kayak
temennya nggak ada gitu kan, nggak ada yang make a dinosaur sound.
Tapi kan kayak nggak tergantung konteks maybe ya.
Dan maksudnya di CDC nggak mungkin ada tulisannya kayak it's okay to make a dinosaur sound.
Nggak sedetail itu ya Bu, nggak sedetail itu.
Oke. Jadi they can just like come to you guys, do a consultation, and then you can recommend gitu ya, which plan is better for them. Gitu. Emang kalau di consultation sendiri, jadi normally those parents bakal cerita dan curhat gitu. And then will you guys have prompts or like what should as a parent prepare when we come to you guys
for consultation?
Biasanya for consultation, I would start with tell me about your kids. Jadi kayak history-nya gimana, udah pernah terapi atau apa. And then what are some, and then I will explain ABA itu apa. And then I will ask them problem behaviornya apa and what's your goal. Like basically why are you here? Gitu.
Right.
Pasti kan ada concern kan kayak anak saya nggak bisa gini, anak saya belum bisa gini. Gitu. Then sometimes I would say kayak I think perlu assessment atau mungkin I think nggak apa-apa Bu, I think ini masih normal.
I see. Okay. Let's say misalnya ternyata and then you guys direct to do like ABA gitu kan, kayak joining nih your session, your therapy gitu kan. What can parents expect sih, kayak ngapain sih anaknya tuh disuruh ngapain sih gitu? How does it looks like in a therapy session?
What we're really proud of is our therapy session is very individualized. So if kalau sekolah kan you have a lesson plan,
Right.
and then like yaudah this group of kids do
Yes.
it. Tapi for us we have one lesson plan for each kid.
Okay.
So yes.
Yeah.
So kalau misalnya dari third person point of view, it'll look like they're just playing. Gitu.
Okay.
Right? There are some parts of therapy where it's more structured, jadi kayak tabletop work. However, most of the time it just looks like play because we are teaching during play.
Okay.
Gitu.
So you have like toys.
It looks like this.
Okay.
Yeah, we have
Okay.
toys, we have kayak a gym,
Okay.
kita ada like I don't
Books,
know, books,
mini dolls gitu-gitu juga ada.
Playground.
playground.
So the kids come in and they can play.
Yeah, they play.
Okay. Not
I
as
think
scary.
a lot of parents salah nangkep kalau misalnya terapi itu kayak tabletop terus in a small room and like
Right.
cuma di ruangan with like ini kayak they can be on the floor, they can, terus kita ada trampolin juga jadi mereka bisa sambil
Jumping.
Okay. And then after that, and then you guys see, okay, apa nih nanti behavior apa, and then step by step gitu ya. Untuk misalnya tadi itunya tantrum gitu ya. Baru nanti ada step by stepnya to help and guide the child. Is it something like that?
we have assessment dulu
Okay.
in the beginning.
Okay.
Nanti kita lihat kurangnya apa, and then mau work on what, and then we make the program based on the assessment.
I see.
And like biasanya parents ada kayak nambah-nambahin, Miss mau sekalian work on like picky eating, or like
Picky
toilet
eating juga bisa.
Bisa.
So what do you guys do kalau picky eating? Sekarang kan banyak ya. Jadi penasaran banget nih.
Cause we do have like parents juga banyak banget problem eating.
Very simple. Misalnya nih anak nggak mau makan buah. First thing to remember, very important. When you're at home, kalau misalnya anak nggak mau sesuatu, don't take it away from their plate. Leave it there. Because when you're taking it away from their plate, you're showing them kayak, aku emang nggak bisa makan brokoli, gitu.
Okay.
So you're gonna leave it there. Gitu.
Okay.
And then in ABA, we use shaping a lot. Jadi we use successive kayak steps gitu loh.
Right.
So maybe you first start with just looking at the broccoli. After a couple sessions, mereka udah bisa nggak teriak-teriak, nggak lempar-lempar brokoli. You're like, let's touch it.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know, you just hold it. Hey, hold it. Good job. And then like, let's smell it. Let's put it on your lips. Let's like put it on your tongue. Okay, so really successive steps gitu for them to eat. In ABA, we also use rewards a lot. Jadi if they kayak be brave and then they take a bite or they touch it, we give like really big reward. Like, oh my gosh, good job! And then we give them a bite of something they like.
Okay.
So it takes a lot of patience, yeah.
and also meeting them where they are. Karena
Right.
parents biasanya kayak mau langsung
Makan
bisa-
sekarang.
ya, satu mangkok gitu kan.
Habis brokolinya gitu ya.
Iya,
Susah ya
bener.
gitu.
Susah.
Yes. So the fact if they can smell it aja itu udah
It's a progress.
achievement for you guys.
Achievement, gitu.
Yeah. Agree banget sih.
Yeah.
Exposure ya.
Exposure.
Definitely first thing adalah first exposure gitu ya.
right.
If you take it away, kapan dia mau nyoba brokolinya gitu? Orang brokoli aja nggak ada.
So seeing example kayak kalau dia lihat anak parentsnya makan,
Make it look yummy. Like, oh my gosh, it's so good.
Family meal time.
I know.
Jadi you guys can do like apa namanya behavior, picky eating. What else? Kayak what other, kayak zaman sekarang banyak banget ya. What about during screen time gitu ya? Just now you mentioned a little bit about speech yang terlambat ternyata kurang stimulasi gitu. What about like during screen time? Are there a lot of issues on like screen time anak zaman sekarang gitu? Do you mind sharing a little bit on your experience on that?
sebenarnya kita nggak bilang screen time is totally bad, tapi it's just like berapa lamanya and like what problems arise from taking it away.
Yeah.
A lot of times kids juga maybe don't have play skills ya, jadi they only know how to watch gitu. Misalnya kayak mereka ada mainan, mereka kayak nggak terlalu interested, maybe because they're not exposed to the toys.
Yeah.
Maybe juga dia nggak terlalu interested in interacting with people, with
Right.
adults, karena dia kebiasaan
Just
lihat screen
That's
gitu.
right. That's right.
I think what you do during screen time is also important. So you can give screen time to your kids, tapi I recommend the parents also engaging
That's right.
with the content
That's
in
good.
the iPad,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So for example, misalnya lagi nonton Baby Shark gitu.
Right.
There's a lot of videos yang kayak, where is Baby Shark? Terus kayak, apa doornya buka-buka.
Yeah.
So just make sure you're like, oh, where is it? Where
Right.
is Baby Shark? Is it there? Jadi kayak parentsnya juga part of that playtime
That's right.
with screen gitu.
right.
Maybe you also want to make the screen time more fun with you.
Yes. Right.
Instead of kalau mereka sendiri kayak ya udah cuma nonton. Kalau with you kayak they get tickles, kayak they get praise gitu-gitu interaction.
Do you know why? I guess also as parents using screen time tuh waktu parentsnya nafas, ya kan? Karena anaknya diam, and I think I'm not saying that's a good thing juga gitu. Kayak I think kayak untuk memanusiakan ini mungkin banyak parents yang agree juga gitu ya. Kadang-kadang memang for parents tuh jadi gitu kayak waktu me time ya, karena anaknya diem, anaknya aman nih, nggak lagi rewel segala macem gitu kan. But we do also say that always gitu kan, kayak banyak yang bilang kayak itu kebanyakan screen time bikin jadi speech delay and whatnot nggak sih gitu. Pasti kita selalu bilang ya, baru kemarin kita juga have a talk show about this gitu kan, kita bilang itu screen time bisa banyak benefitnya juga loh gitu, and kids needs to know bahkan screen time itu bukan cuma entertainment purposes tapi bisa for educational purposes. Kayak I think you shared a lot kayak about Caleb likes train at one point gitu ya, then they Google it, they watch kayak
what the factor about train gitu. Kita dari Jepang and then like he was so into Shinkansen. Jadi eventually kita nontonnya Factory on Shinkansen gitu kan. And like the magnet under the Shinkansen whatever lah gitu. Jadi akhirnya dia nontonnya itu. And then like now ya dia lebih obviously dia lebih tertarik with train karena he knows like it's small from small pieces of train jadi panjang bisa jadi super long gitu kan. So that means not all screen time are negative, gitu kan. Tapi we would like to ask juga, kalau misalnya nih anaknya udah kebablasan, aduh my son nonton TV 3 jam contohnya gitu ya, what to do? Kayak obviously pas kita ambil screen time-nya marah.
And mommy knows lah, misalnya and parents knows
kita udah
kayak
tahu,
nggak bagus nih,
gitu
too
kan.
much gitu kan.
Well, obviously kalau anaknya udah nonton 3 jam, you suddenly like no screen time for you, they're gonna like tantrum, and your life is gonna be super hard, right? So you want to do it slowly.
Okay.
So like tadi kita ngomong screen time, you can supplement with parent interaction. So for example, Caleb really likes trains. So you would, misalnya ada, those miniature Shinkansen trains, right? You can like as he's watching the factory, you can, oh my gosh, look, let's do the same. Let's build a very long train, and then you teach him how to build, and then lama-lama he's gonna find that fun, right? Karena ada mommy's interaction, right? And then maybe you can fade out the video but leave the sound on, and then he'll be okay with that. And after he's okay with that, you can take the sound out completely, right? Instead of just taking 3 hours away, start with 2,5 jam,
Right.
2 jam.
Slowly but surely.
Gitu. And make sure when you're taking something away from the child, you're replacing it with something.
Okay.
Gitu. Because screen time for them is their fun time. This is how I play. This is my version of play. So make sure when you're taking that play, you're replacing it with another play. Biar dia nggak bosen. Karena kalau anak bosen, they're also gonna tantrum.
Right.
They're gonna want your attention. Mommy, I need attention because I'm so bored.
Right.
So I'm gonna scream my head off. Gitu kan.
Then I will get mommy's attention.
Yes, exactly. And then it just becomes a cycle, right?
That's right. And I think you guys mentioned a lot about kayak interacting between kayak parents and child gitu kan. Do you mind sharing more gitu? Apa sih gitu kayak what are the things that we need to note down gitu ya? Kayak sometimes kayak we are also like working moms right now walaupun we can bring our kids sometimes to school gitu. Tapi kayak do you guys see that very important and kayak how should we do it with our children gitu? Do you mind sharing more about that?
Interacting with your child is so important. Why? Because it's your time to build rapport.
Okay.
And the reason why it's important is when you have rapport with your child is more likely to follow instructions.
Okay.
They're more likely to find you fun. They're gonna look for you. They're gonna like lebih nggak rewel lah kalau kasarnya ngomongnya gitu. And what's really nice, like you said, there's so many working moms, right? What we really like to emphasize is it's quality over quantity.
Okay.
So instead of 3 hours, you're like on your phone, you're like typing, you're like
sambil-sambil
apa gitu. Just spend 5 minutes, set a timer 5 minutes di mana you're not doing anything aside from intentionally spending time with your kid. Maybe you want to share a little bit about like how you can interact with that.
Kalau misalnya if you're playing with toys gitu, you only narrate what they're doing gitu. Misalnya kayak oh wow look at this car gitu, the car is apa. Jadi cuma narrate bukan yang kayak oh what color is this, what are you doing. Terus kalau misalnya parentsnya, misalnya the kids cuma mainnya kayak cuman di maju mundur gitu. Then the parents want the kids to like maybe use the track gitu.
Right.
We don't tell it, nggak kasih tahu mereka how to play karena kan this is their play time. Terserah mereka mau mainnya gimana kan.
Okay.
Gitu. Jadi make it fun. Terus if you're playing kayak misalnya hide and seek with your kid, misalnya mom and dad gitu, the mom yang hide and then the dad yang bantuin anaknya gitu kayak where's mommy? Terus kayak is she here? Terus dia buka horden gitu. Oh she's not. Oh kayak make it fun gitu. Padahal kan cuma simple hide and seek 5 minutes or like coba look for ini. Terus is it under the bed sheet or is it under the table? Terus nanti papanya lihat, nanti anaknya juga lihat. Oh it's not here. Where is it? Kayak gitu-gitu. Jadi that's also stimulating speech juga while playing and also like imitation. Jadi kayak kalau misalnya pas dadnya mungkin buka the horden, mungkin anaknya bisa ikut buka. So it's like imitation, growth motor imitation. Gitu.
So during play, you're working on a lot of pre-verbal skills juga gitu. So even though it's like you're just playing, but they're learning something. Gitu.
Actually, ABA therapy looks a lot like just playing. Kalau misalnya nggak lihat programnya, it just looks like they're just playing gitu.
Lately kalau Joel di rumah lagi suka ajak mainnya tuh yang kayak imaginative play gitu, yang kayak nggak mau cuma main biasa, kayak maunya ini kayak ada kayak semua animalnya nanti siapa yang datang kayak no attack gitu-gitu kayak, and he would ask for kayak mami ayo main, dan definisi main dia kayak gitu and what I like that as you mentioned gitu ya, kayak sebenarnya stimulasi kalau misalnya parents bingung, miss tapi stimulasi anak saya supaya bisa bicara di rumah gimana, sebenarnya as simple as playing together with your child gitu ya, and a lot of narrating as you mentioned, bukan cuma kayak tanya jawab ini warna apa gitu, bukan ya, play ya means play, sitting down ngedeprak di bawah bareng anak-anak gitu ya. A lot of parents juga soalnya tuh suka bingung kayak ya stimulasi apa lagi gitu kan.
And like a lot of correcting gitu ya, kayak kok mobilnya terbang gitu, kayak mobil kan harusnya jalan di track gitu kan.
Padahal let them be.
And follow what they want. Jangan kayak main ini yuk, jangan gitu. Kayak lihat aja mereka main apa, terus kita ikutin gitu.
Jadi lebih kepada literally following their lead and like ya udah joining them instead of like kok kamu nggak main sama buku ini terus sih, kok kamu nggak main sama kereta ini gitu kan. But a lot of parents pasti kita merasa kayak udah beli mahal-mahal kok nggak dimainin gitu ya.
A lot of times you just have to show the kid
how to play,
make it fun. Kayak misalnya you bought like this really expensive Lego set and then you want them to play with it. Show them how it can be fun. Gitu. If they like spinning things, try to incorporate how can I incorporate spinning things into this Lego set. Lama-lama they're gonna be interested in the Lego set. Gitu. So you have to be very creative sih emang.
Right. And walaupun kesannya play gitu ya, tapi as you mentioned ya benar-benar harus intentional gitu ya, be creative gitu. It's not just kayak ya anaknya nanti gede sendiri, enggak gitu ya. Kita harus benar-benar luangkan waktu gitu ya. Hopefully juga with a lot of love and heart for our children, and nantinya banyak buahnya gitu ya. You see that a lot ya. And just now you mentioned a little bit about the social skills kind of like club gitu, kayak do you mind sharing about it gitu, kayak what do you see in kids, kenapa sih you have that program? We believe itu gara-gara ada needs-nya juga dong gitu kan. What do you guys see for that?
We see our kids kalau misalnya udah mulai communication udah tapi they don't know how to interact appropriately. Jadi misalnya kayak mereka nggak tahu personal space, nggak tahu cara ngajak main, terus kayak masih suka apa ya, kayak ada juga yang mungkin nggak terlalu suka main sama teman-teman gitu.
Sukanya main sendiri masih.
Kalau nggak mau, kayak biasalah anak nggak mau kalah, terus saya maunya his way, nggak mau sharing, nggak mau taking turn gitu.
Right. And you see that itu sebenarnya something yang kita bisa help shape anak-anak gitu ya. And you mentioned having kids and teens.
Yes. So we do have a social skills group for little children. I think umur 3 to 6 ya. 3 to 6. And then for teenagers, which is up to 13 to 16.
Right.
And based on your experience, like why does this happen gitu? A lot of our audience kan banyak kan anak yang masih kecil-kecil ya. Gitu.
How
kayak,
can we prevent that?
How can we prevent that from happening gitu kan? Since dari early on, apakah is there like any small tips atau memang those are the skills that mungkin kebetulan those parents pas kecil belum ngajarin nih, atau kayak what can we prohibit that from happening?
Kalau social skills for kids, I think exposure.
Okay.
Just exposing your children to as many people as possible. And kalau misalnya you see them struggling, facilitate that play, facilitate the interaction. If you have siblings, kids, right? Practice at home gitu, misalnya kayak how to take turns, how to like navigate kalau misalnya koko mau main ini tapi adik nggak mau main ini, things like that. So a lot of practice practice.
Tapi dibantuin immediate gitu.
Yes.
Jadi jangan dibiarin main berdua.
Yeah.
Kalau ada misalnya kayak nggak mau take turn, then you like talk to them.
Share the skills gimana sih gitu ya supaya kita bisa play together gitu ya. That's good.
And coming off of that juga, misalnya dia nggak mau tolerate taking turns.
Yeah.
How do you manage your emotions?
Right.
When you're upset,
Yeah.
what can you do?
Yeah.
Right?
That's
It's your moms and parents' job untuk kayak model how to regulate emotionally juga kan.
Kita di sekolah juga sampai we have a special social, emotional, and physical education lesson.
Oh, ya?
Cause we do see the needs for that as well gitu, kayak gimana mereka bisa learn how to regulate their emotions kan when feeling angry or like upset gitu, kayak we use our words instead of hitting or kicking gitu, kayak we have our own kids and we see that kadang-kadang kan refleksnya atau first actionnya langsung rebut balik or things like that, which is kind of like common for kids in the early years. Apalagi mereka cannot use their words properly well, mereka do not know how to gitu kan. So having those like lessons or like teaching them that is very important gitu ya. Let's say kalau misalnya parents sini juga ada yang nonton gitu, maybe they're not living in Jakarta as well, cannot go to your center gitu. Is there any things that we can do as parents at home? Maybe to you know promote like social skills and things like that gitu.
Kalau misalnya ngomong emotional, I think modeling is very important.
Okay.
So
Maminya dulu ya. and daddy,
Mommy and daddy, please.
Yes.
I think kayak we say a lot, if the parents cannot regulate their emotions well, how are you expecting the children to regulate their emotions?
Yeah.
Gitu. So I think little things yang misalnya mami lagi bete,
Kesel nih.
label your emotion.
Yeah, okay.
I feel so upset because
Okay.
Mommy's gonna take a break now. Jadi you're modeling, right?
Right.
You're labeling your emotions,
Yeah.
and then you're telling them what you're doing to kayak address kayak your kesel or whatever.
Okay.
Gitu. So
Okay.
they see that helps juga. And then kalau social skills ya, like we said just now, I think exposure aja sih.
Practice. So we let gesekan itu happen. So we bring them to the park juga gitu ya, maksudnya supaya they get to experience real cases juga, and then we help them. Oh tadi kayak gini, mesti kayak gini gitu ya. Jadi bukannya semakin
Di rumah nih takut daripada tantrum di luar.
nervous, iya nanti anak yang lain kena pukul gitu kan.
Nangisnya daripada di luar, udah deh nggak usah dibawa keluar deh gitu kan. Kalau ada family gathering, let me just tungguin aja di as the nanny to temenin di rumah daripada dia tantrumnya di depan keluarga gitu. But actually it's okay ya, kayak maksudnya malah bring them out, expose them to the different challenges that they might be facing gitu ya.
Sebenarnya if you're just kayak nggak expose them, they're not learning kan.
Exactly.
Jadi nggak apa-apa, justru bawa keluar and then teach them. Lama-lama mereka bakal kalau diajarin ya.
Oke. Apalagi kita udah siapin toolsnya buat mereka gitu ya. Kayak kalau misalnya nanti udah kita siapin misalnya playground nih ya, nanti pas pulang mami kasih timer nih gitu ya misalnya ya. Terus nanti 1 menit kalau ada rings go home. Walaupun nanti kayak gitu nggak apa-apa, we keep on doing to practice gitu ya sama anaknya. Jadi parents also nggak usah malu ya. Harap maklumin juga kalau ada anak saya di playground masih nangis gitu ya. Pas mau pulang, oh kejadian ini real story.
Lagi curhat ya Bu.
Tapi kan kalau nggak latihan kapan latihannya? Masa gue nggak bawa playground terus ya kan?
You can also practice at home. So for example nih parents, misalnya kamu bawa ke Jepang gitu kan,
Yeah.
it's like oh my gosh I don't want dia tantrum
Drama
di airport
lagi
gitu
liburan.
kan. Misalnya, so you again moms and dads you know your children best, so you can predict dia pasti betenya or tantrumnya di scenario A B C gitu.
Yeah.
Try to practice at home.
Oke.
So we do something called behavioral skills training. So the first step of behavioral skills training tuh you give instruction. Kamu jelasin. Hey, later in the airport, you might have to, misalnya you have to put the iPad inside the conveyor belt untuk security.
That's
gitu.
right. Yeah.
Kamu jelasin.
Yeah.
And then jelasin kenapa it's important, bla bla bla. Terus habis itu, okay, I will show you ya how to do it. Misalnya nonton di YouTube security check, so they see what to expect.
Oke.
Now let's practice yuk, and then you can set up pakai
Your
bola-bola,
conveyor
ya, suruh nanny jadi security.
Yeah.
Let's practice. Good job, that was so good. Look at you. Nanti di airport kayak gini lagi ya.
Yeah.
So they know what to expect juga gitu.
That's a very good skill and maksudnya it's a good start ya. Jadi pas anak-anak di sana mereka they know okay my iPad will go into that terowongan gitu ya.
Nanti tiba-tiba kayak diambil.
Oke.
So we learned so much today gitu ya, kayak satu tadi it's not as scary to go to centers kayak Enrich gitu ya, even you guys do consultation for free. Tadi setupnya tuh just like play gitu ya untuk anak-anak yang therapy, and then we also talk about the prevention atau things we can do at home. Kalau misalnya stimulasi itu juga gimana sih gitu kan, to teach the skills to our children itu takes time ya kan. Kalaupun fading out juga perlahan-lahan. Kalau tadi tantrum gitu kan, do you guys have any last tips atau message that you wanna share to parents yang lagi dengar ini nggak?
I think being compassionate, not just to your kids but also to yourself.
Need it most?
Yeah. I think parents they have like high expectations, right? And like you said, mom guilt gitu loh. Tapi kayak just be kind to yourself and know that misalnya like if you're a working mom, kayak know your circumstance aja. Don't try to be angry at yourself because you're not able to do as much as the other mom.
Okay.
Gitu. Just be very kind to yourself.
Or like, oh, I should have known this.
Yeah. Because like you guys, when you became parents, there's no class, right? How you didik your child, it's how your parents didik you, and then you just do that, right?
Even though if there are many classes right now, every child is so different.
Exactly.
Gak bisa yeah, we have 2 kids gitu ya. It's they're so different gitu. Nggak bisa 1 tambah 1 semuanya 2 gitu ya. Sometimes it doesn't work with the other one gitu. Maybe anything from you, Jen?
Tadi udah ya, spend time.
Yeah, spend time
with your kids. I think what they value most is maybe your time. Okay, even if misalnya kayak you have to cook gitu, maybe you can include them in the kitchen juga. Mungkin I don't know, like they can do something else, ngaduk-ngaduk atau apa. Yes, it takes more time, it's more messy, tapi at least they're there. Sebenarnya tuh kids don't care what they do, as long as they're with you gitu. They don't know it's chores, they don't know it's like not. Pokoknya yang penting do something with mom, do something with dad.
It's a strong foundational juga buat anak-anak when they feel secure at home ya. We've read a lot of research gitu ya, not just with the mom, also with the dad gitu ya. And then they feel secure at home. Hopefully nanti juga even I guess the social skills juga pas mereka keluar, they become confident.
Mereka juga bisa trusting other people.
That's right.
Gitu. And eventually relationships in the future and even as a parent gitu ya, they will feel more comfortable, more supported. Apa lagi? Love, yeah. So actually the foundation right now itu is it's a prime time ya.
To invest our time to our kids gitu ya. Okay, thank you guys so much for today's session. I guess I learned a lot. We hope you guys yang lagi nonton juga bisa belajar banyak banget gitu. And once again, thank you. And we hope to see you next time. Bye.
Bye.